Praise the Lord, everyone. This is Pastor Brinson from Waco Church Living God in Waco, Texas. Once again, coming to you, just enjoying this day in the Lord. Just pray that all of you are blessed on this day. All of you are enjoying this day. I just want to talk to you briefly about being flawed, but yet still valuable. Being flawed, but yet still valuable. A lot of people around here, they concentrate or they look at their flaws in their life, whether they got skin blemishes or some type of marks on their body, or they may not have all their limbs. Something may be wrong with them, that they feel that they are flawed, and then they feel that because they're flawed that they're not valuable. All of us have some type of thing that's wrong with us. But the question is, even though you have flaws, are you still valuable? And I'm here to let you know, regardless of what you got going on in your body, whether it's skin blemishes, whether you feel you're overweight, underweight, in between weight, need more weight, need less weight, whatever the case may be, you got scars on your head, forehead, backs, arms, you are still valuable in the eyesight of God. So it doesn't matter what people think about you. Listen, all of us have some type of thing that we may be going through, concerning the way that we look. And all of us have problems. And sometimes when we look in the mirror, we don't like what we see in the mirror. But you ought to look at yourself and say, regardless of the flaws that I have, I am still valuable. God still sees value in you. Listen, I had busted my head open one time, some couple years back, and it left this scar right here on my head. And some people called me Harry Potter, and some people called me say I had a little Frankenstein scar, and it became like a little issue to me where I wanted to find something to try to make that scar disappear. What's funny about the scar is that it reminds me of God's mercy and His grace. Because when I passed out and busted my head open, I could have been dead and gone. So what it did, it left a mark on my forehead. But instead of taking the mark and really focus on the flaw that I had on my head that was not there before, I began to get thankful and grateful that this reminded me of God's healing power. It reminded me of God's mercy. It reminded me of God's grace. So it didn't matter no longer what people said about the scar that was on my head, because all of us have something that we have to deal with, or something that we feel that our bodies are flawed with. Proverbs, the third chapter, verse 3 and 4 says this: Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablets of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. Matthew, the sixth chapter, verse 26 says this: Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Listen, I'm here to tell you, if God takes care of the birds and the birds in the air, and takes care of the barns and everything, and what we sow and we reap and store away in the barns, and we feed, and God feeds the animals and feeds the birds of the air, and all the little creepy things around. Are we not much valuable? Are you not much valuable than they are? Look at yourself and say, yes, I am. God sees you valuable. You are valuable in the eyesight of God. So don't worry about what man or woman or anybody has to say about any kind of flaws that you have. I love the way Michael Jackson said. Michael Jackson said this: you ought to take a little time to look at the man in the mirror. All of us are have to deal with something in our life. All of us are going to go through some things in our life. Liz, I remember growing up, people used to pick with me. My brother friends used to talk about me. And my brother taught me something about value. His friends used to call me all kind of names like toaster head, and don't hold on, don't you laugh now. Don't you dare laugh. But it's called me toaster head, and Pepsi bottle head, and Spock ears. Y'all see them point on my ears right there? Yeah, they on both sides. Yeah, and I get called Spock and everything else. And all his friends, not all of them, but some of his friends used to pick on me. And one day my brother taught me. He said, "Who knows you better than you?" I don't know if he even remembered that, but I remember him telling me this. We were standing on the corner of 21st and Calumet, right there in Niagara Falls, New York. Um, and he told me, "Who knows you better than you?" And that has stuck with me for the rest of my life, regardless of what somebody said about me. Who knows me better than me other than God? Don't nobody knows what I've been through. Don't nobody knows what you've been through. Nobody knows you better than you other than God. So it didn't matter to me no more than what my brother friends were saying about me. Because at that point in time, my brother taught me about value. So I send honor out to my brother Abdul Wali right there in the, hold on, where is he at now? Oh, that's right. He he in the hot place of Alabama. Send a shout out to him. Thank you, my brother. I love my brother for teaching me how to value myself. And he taught me something that when they was picking on me, tell them something else about me. Tell them some more things about me, because and then eventually it starts shutting them up, because I would tell them more about me, what other things about me that they did not know, and they had nothing else to say about the flaws or what they were trying to what they were trying to do, trying to bring me down by calling me toaster head. And yeah, some of you out there right now may tell me, yeah, you still got a toaster head or you still got a Pepsi bottle head. That's okay. That's okay right there. You go ahead and put it. Matter of fact, put it in the comment, Pastor. You still got a toaster head, or you still got a Pepsi bottle head. It's okay. I learned to enjoy myself. I learned to do like David said. I learned to encourage myself. My brother taught me the about valuing me when other people tried to devalue me. When other people try to make trash of me, my brother taught me how to value me and how to bring the riches out of me. You should strive not to be a success in life, but rather to be of value. It's better to be more of value than it is to be or stretching or striving to be a success in life. You can be all the success you want to be, but your value is the greatest thing that will bring success to you. One uh, Albert Einstein said this. He told us. He told about strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. There's a person by the name of Simone de Beauvoir said, one's life has value so long as one attributes or attributes value to life of others by means of love, friendship, indignation, and compassion. My brother taught me how to love me. And a lot of you out there need to stop depending on other people to love you. Stop depending on other people to encourage you. Stop depending on other people to lift you up. Stop depending on other people to tell you how beautiful you are or how valuable you are. Listen, you got to learn how to love yourself and understand the value that you have in yourself. And a lot of us, if we learn to value other people, we'll learn the value of our own selves. A lot of us are simply just reaping what you sow. You were so busy trying to devalue somebody else, and now you feel like you're not valuable. So maybe if we just turn this thing around and begin to value other people and begin to lift other people up by the means of love, by the means of friendship, by the means of compassion, then we learn to value one another, then listen, I'm here to tell you, your stock gonna go up. The stock in your life, the stock of your life will go up. Each of us has either idiosyncrasies and stuff and flaws and imperfections in our life and shortcomings that we may have overinflated in our self-perception of ourselves. Too often we are our worst enemies. Some of us out there are our worst enemies. Nobody has to say anything about you because you're too busy putting yourself down. You're going to have to learn to encourage yourself and lift yourself up and look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am valuable. I'm valuable. I may not be valuable to man or woman, but I'm valuable in the eyesight of God. And you stop being your worst enemy and become your best friend. Stop depending on other people to do what you can do better than anybody else, and that's to encourage yourself. That's to tell yourself how beautiful you are. Because we tend to extend more grace to others than we do towards ourselves. You have to start extending grace not to just others, not just telling others how wonderful they are and how beautiful they are or how handsome they are. Listen, start telling yourself this is not being vain or anything else. This is doing like David said, learn to encourage yourself. Learn to lift yourself up. Start telling yourself how beautiful you are, how handsome you are, how wonderful you are, how caring, how loving you are. Learn to show grace to yourself. While you're showing grace to other people, learn to show grace to yourself. We may perceive and even judge ourselves harshly, and sometimes even others. But we need to remember that each of us have value that we can offer unto others. All of us have value. All of us have something that of value that you can offer somebody else. Stop being so harsh and judgmental on yourself. Stop being so harsh and judgmental on other people, because it's something that they have of value that can help you out. And a lot of you are missing your blessings because you're so judgmental and so harsh on other people, and not knowing that God has those people in your life that has something that may be a blessing or value to you. So start lifting other people up. Start blessing other people. Start encouraging other people, and start showing grace to other people. Stop being so judgmental and harsh on them and even yourself. But we just remember this: all of us can offer something one to another. Regardless, we should heed what Desmond Tutu said. He said, your ordinary acts of love and hope point to extraordinary promises that every human life is of inestimable value. All of us have value that you can't even measure. All of us have something to offer one another just by the simple act of ordinary love, ordinary hope, that brings out extraordinary promises in our life that will help somebody else in this human life, in this human body, that will help somebody bring extra value to themselves that you can't even measure. You don't understand how valuable you are and how valuable people are around you, that is immeasurable, that you can't even measure their value. His truth reminds me of this story about a damaged puppy. But let me just read something here for you. before I get to that story there. Over in Matthew the 10th chapter, verse 29 through 31, it says, "Are not two sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground outside your Father's care. And even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. So don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows are." Even though they're sold for a penny, even though we would even when we fall in our Father's care, we would not get hurt because of how valuable we are. It's just like a baby in a crib. Because that baby's in a crib or that baby's on a bed, because that baby has value, if that baby was to get to the edge of the bed and begin to fall off, mama and daddy will literally jump to try to save that baby's life or save that baby from getting hurt, because that baby is valuable. That baby is valuable to the parents. So why not look at yourself as being valuable, even though you have many flaws? Why not look at other people, even though they have many flaws? Why not look at them as being valuable? The story of the damaged puppy. Remember, we're talking about being flawed but still valuable. A shop owner placed a sign above his door which said "Puppies for sale." Signs like this have uh, always have a way of attracting young children, and to no surprise, a boy saw the sign, approached the owner, and asked, How much are you going to sell these puppies for?" He asked the owner. The store owner replied, "Anywhere from $30 to $50." The little boy pulled out some change from his pocket and said, "I have $2.37. Can I please look at them?" The shop owner smiled and whistled. Out of the kennel came a dog named Lady, who ran down the aisles of the owner's shop by five tiny little balls of fur. The puppy was lagging. There was a puppy that was lagging considerably behind, while the other ones ran, while the other ones got to the little boy quicker. Immediately, the little boy singled out that lagging, limping puppy and said, "What's wrong with that little puppy?" The shop owner explained that the veterinarians had examined the puppy and discovered discovered that the puppy didn't have a hip socket. It will always be a limp and be lame. Isn't that something? How somebody will always look at your limp and your lame. The little boy became excited and said, "That is the puppy I want to buy." The shop owner said, "No, you don't want to buy that little dog. If you really want him, I'll just give him to you." The little boy got quite upset with the owner of the shop. He looked straight into the store owner's eyes, pointing his finger, and said, "I don't want you to give him to me. That puppy is worth every bit as much as all the other puppies. I'll pay full price. In fact, I'll give you $2.37 now and 50 cents each month until I have paid for him." The shop owner countered, "You really don't want to buy this little puppy. He is never going to be able to run and jump and play with you like other puppies." To his surprise, the little boy reached down and rolled up his pants leg to reveal a badly twisted, crippled left leg supported by a metal brace. He looked up at the shop owner and softly replied, "Well, I don't run so well myself, and the little puppy will need someone who understands." My God. Molly Tarlov said, Now know that you are worth so much more than the value you place on your body. It's not the only thing that defines us. This story is very touching because the young boy saw the value in the damaged puppy because of his own life paralleled the flawed animal. The young boy not only realized the puppy's value, but he understood his own value. The young boy's body was flawed, but yet still valuable. Albert Einstein stated, the value of a man or woman should not be seen in what he or she gives and not in what he or she is able to receive. Too often people place too much emphasis on human perfection. A lot of us we get our bodies augmentated. We get different kind of jobs done on our body just to perfect something that God has already perfected when you was born. And now because you see flaws in your body, and what you're really saying is that, God, you made a mistake making me. And now because you want to change God's creation, and now you're saying, God, you didn't make me perfect enough. God, you didn't put my body in the right place. You didn't put parts in the right place. You didn't make me how I wanted to be. And so now we have people doing surgeries and everything else just to try to perfect their bodies the way that they want it to be, not understanding that God has saw value in them and created them where there would be no estimate on their life and no value was able to be put on their life because they was immeasurable. They had a cost on them that nobody can pay. And people are getting surgeries to try to perfect something that was already perfected when they were created in the image of God. Here, regardless of one's background, religious or spiritual beliefs, physical ability or disability, mental ability or disability, or other aspect of our humanity, every one of us are flawed but yet still valuable. Melinda Gates is correct when she made a statement. She said all lives have an equal value. All of us we got a lot of people that we around with Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, such and such lives matter. All lives are valuable. If we learn to love one another, if we learn to find value in one another, we'll have a whole lot better world. We live in a complex and complicated world, and we are invited to see the value of who we are, and not only who we are, but the value of other people. No one is less than or greater than the other. We are all equal in God's eyesight. I'm going to leave you with this right here. Psalms 139:14 reminds us all. The Bible says, I will give thanks unto you, O God, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Because Jesus saw value in you, he was willing to pay the ultimate price for you. Just like the little boy with the little dog, with the little puppy, who saw value in that flawed puppy that the owner saw and says, I'll give everything I got for that puppy because I can see me inside that puppy, and I'm willing to pay until everything is paid in full for that flawed puppy that the owner saw. And Jesus did the same thing for us. And all the sin that we were born into, all the flaws that we were born into, Jesus said, I'm going to pay for you. I'm going to give my life for you. I'm going to shed my blood for you. The Bible lets us know without the shedding of blood, there would be no remission of sins. That Jesus was willing to pay the ultimate price just for flawed little you because he saw value in you. The Bible said in John 3:16, everybody know that for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Because he saw value in us, he was willing to pay for us with this life. So look at your flaws. Look at them right now. And don't look at them no more and say, I am valuable, because Jesus paid the ultimate price for me. God bless each and every one of you. I pray that this has helped someone, just this little word, that even though you have flaws, you are still valuable. And don't allow people in your life to devalue who you are. If you got people in your life that want to devalue your life, then it's time to go ahead and cut them off. Go ahead and leave them alone. If they can't find value in you, then they don't need to be around you. They don't need to be with you. Know that you are valuable. You are precious in the eyesight of God. This Pastor Brinson from Waco Church of Living God, 1618 Clay Avenue, right in Waco, Texas, 76706. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, somebody that look at this video that go, know the area code, put the right area code down, 76706. Waco Church of Living God, right here in Waco, Texas. God bless each and every one of you. You are all valuable to me. Pastor, Pastor loves each and every one of you. All of you have value to me. Pray to God to see you soon. And those who don't see value, that's fine. At the end of the day, God sees value in me. God sees value in you. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. God bless you all. If you want to listen, the ministry is still going forth. If you find a need to sow a seed, Just go ahead and contact me. I'll tell you how to contact me, how to get that seed in. Y'all know I'm not the begging type person. That ain't me. But if you feel a need to sow a seed in your value into the kingdom of God, just go ahead and contact me and I'll tell you how to do it. God bless each and every one of you is my prayer. And may favor surround each and every one of you like a shield. Love you. God bless you. Until we meet again. God bless.